the Sheriff's review of the 2013 Governor's Cup against Louisville and Kentucky. Basically, it was a 27-13 win for the Cardinals, the third in a row in the series, and 65,445 people showed up to watch the game. In this series, we're going to go through a lot of the plays that made the game happen for the University of Louisville, and then also some of the areas of opportunity that maybe they left on the field. We're going to go through some of the fantastic plays and also some of the plays that could have been better. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so on this first play we're going to look at, Gerard Holland jumps the route right in front of Alexander Montgomery, and looks like he has an interception, but Montgomery's able to knock it out. You can see it in slow motion here. Terrell Floyd is on Montgomery, and then they switch, and it kind of causes some confusion for Max Smith, and Holloman almost gets a pick early in this game. On the first play from scrimmage, Teddy actually forces the throw to Damian Copeland. It's something that you don't normally see from Teddy, so it's kind of a weird sort of situation on opening play of this series to see him go for a guy that's covered up really easily. Same possession, third down. The Cards give up a lot of pressure. Teddy has to burn the ball on third down. Cam Joyer lets his man through really quickly, and then Zadarius Smith on Jamon Brown also comes in and flushes Teddy out of the pocket. Ryan Max, he's got his man pretty well covered up here, but Teddy's flushed towards his man, and so that guy actually is able to come into pursuit. Teddy has to burn the ball, and the Cards go 3 and out on their first opening drive of the game. This is a fantastic play from Marcus Smith in the 3-3-5 formation. Smith is lined up at linebacker in the 3-3-5, and he's actually standing up, and he creates the fumble and recovers it himself. And Malden helps knock it towards him. But this is a fantastic play for the Cardinals, and you like to see Marcus Smith do this because this is probably his role next year in the NFL. Louisville has to settle for a field goal, and it's because of this 3rd and 2 play from Robert Clark and Teddy Bridgewater. It looks like Teddy and Robert just are not on the same page, and it makes you wonder who's playing number 5 today early on. On kickoff, rush lane discipline. This is a case where it just did not happen. 4 players run past the kick returner inside the 15-yard line, and that gives the kick returner for Kentucky a huge lane to run through. And you can see kind of as that happens, he gets a huge gain out to the 45, and the Cats get great field position to start their drive. Terrell Floyd has an opportunity to sneak in the backside and make an interception here. He barely misses it, goes right off his hands, and maybe even goes into Calvin Pryor's, but they missed the opportunity. On offense, the Cards get the ball back after a punt. Avery Williamson absolutely meets Sonoris Perry at the point of attack. He's too good of a linebacker to leave unchecked and unblocked and with that big of a hole to run through. Louisville fails to convert this 3rd and 2 because the right side of the Louisville offensive line fails to set to edge. In particular, B.J. Butler on Jason Hatcher. Hatcher kind of comes up and makes the rushing lane impossible for Dominic Brown, and it stops the play. B.J. DuBose makes an outstanding play on Ryan Timmons trying to get to the edge. DuBose steps out, wraps up, contains the edge, and takes care of the rushing play there really easily, and that sets up a punt. When the Cards get the ball back, Teddy Bridgewater makes a great rush, scramble out of the pocket, and we just need to teach him how to slide. I mean, this is a Dan McDonald thing. That is one of the ugliest slides I think I've ever seen a college football quarterback make. So we need to get Dan McDonald out there and work on Teddy with that. Devontae Parker gives the Cats the ball when he's fighting for extra yards. He's staying up, and he got the ball in his wrong hand. He's twisting, he's turning, and everybody likes fighting for extra yardage, but he has the first down, and he gives up the ball, and the Cats are able to get a field goal on their ensuing possession, and that's just a play you'd like to see a guy just go down. James Burgess introduces Jeff Badette to college football on this play, and it's so good we just have to see it again. James Burgess squares him up, puts him straight on the ground. That's beautiful football. On the next play, Marcus Smith is caught out in a zone blitz against Ryan Timmons, and that's a mismatch. James Burgess needs to make the tackle once Timmons is past Marcus Smith, but this is a play that's just really well designed, and the Cats have a good play call for what Louisville defense is in. Marcus is on a mismatch there, but James Burgess needs to come up here and finish this play. So does Calvin Pryor, but that's a big gain that gives up a field goal that probably could have been prevented. These are 2 great pass coverage plays for the University of Louisville defense. First here on Javis Blue, Charles Gaines is in perfect position to make the play, and I love Charles' speed and his position and his ball skills. like to see him come down with that interception, but I'm happy with the pass breakup here. Calvin Pryor on Alex Montgomery pops that ball out towards Brandon Dunn. Dunn has a chance at an interception thanks to Pryor popping it his way. It almost happens, but the ball hits the ground. But still, two great plays in the defensive secondary for the University of Louisville. Louisville gives up a sack on 3rd and 7 here, and it's Ryan Mack's fault on Bud Dupree. Dupree comes clean past Mack. Mack's a little late getting out of his stance, and Bud Dupree has a really nice angle. Teddy has to step up, and it puts him straight in the lane of Zadarius Smith, who's coming in on a stunt, who actually beat John Miller as well. But that was more Bud Dupree against Ryan Mack than it was Zadarius Smith. Preston Brown makes a beautiful play on 3rd and 1. This is a solo effort for Preston. He shoots the gap right up through the hole, and he stops this 3rd and 1 right where it is. He's getting a little help from Calvin Pryor at the end, but oh man, wow, great play from Preston Brown there. These next two throws exhibit exactly why Teddy Bridgewater was off. I mean, you can kind of see it here. These are not characteristic throws from Teddy Bridgewater. You just kind of see him throw into like quadruple coverage, trying to force the ball into Gerald Christian. Christian doesn't even see the ball, and he actually breaks up the pass on accident. And then here it's just a totally miscommunication route. Teddy just sails it way over the thing. It's not even a good throw anyway. But that's not Teddy Bridgewater. That's not the person that we're used to seeing. Lozo moment. If you're not going to block Lorenzo Malden, it is going to be a very, very long day. This is a really important sequence for the University of Louisville Cardinals. Up until this point, they had really struggled to run the football. But in this sequence, they run the ball 8 consecutive times, almost all to Dominic Brown. Dominic Brown is really getting a lot of room in the running game. He starts on the right and goes to the left almost every single time, especially early until they run a sweep late here in the sequence. But big time, big boy football. This drive was about pride, and it was about getting a touchdown on the ground and demoralizing the Kentucky defense. Louisville eventually scores on a touchdown pass on 3rd down to Devontae Parker, 13-yard receiving touchdown, jump ball in the end zone. It's really kind of unfair on Teddy Bridgewater and Devontae Parker together in the open field, and in the end zone it's even more dangerous. Beautiful ball control, beautiful body control. Gets his feet in bounds, controls the football, touchdown, first touchdown in the game, the 2013 Governor's Cup. Terrell Floyd gets called for pass interference here, and honestly, I don't see it. It doesn't end up being a big deal in the end because the Cats fumble on this possession, but I don't see any contact that would draw a flag, honestly, at all. So I would like to understand that penalty a little bit better. On this play, Brandon Dunn makes an outstanding play on a run play, just outstanding play from a defensive tackle. Just because it was so good, I want you guys to see it again. Brandon Dunn, fantastic play, good play on the inside. On this play, Gerard Holloman gambles on a pass and gives up a big play, Gaines is slightly behind him, and Hakeem Smith misses a tackle, gives the Cats good field position inside, but they fumble a handoff exchange between Max Smith and the running back. Preston Brown is right there and jumps on the ball twice, actually, and gets possession for the Cards, and the Cards go into the halftime with 10-3 lead. Louisville's opening drive of the second half is a thing of beauty. On this opening play that you kind of see that I'm showing you here, Devontae Parker is hit on this little thing in the flat. Zeke Pike makes a nice block, and if Devontae can get up the field a little bit quicker, that's a big gain. Here, Teddy takes what the defense is giving him, Kai De La Cruz, for a first down. This is what Louisville was not doing in the first half. They were not being patient and going for the short, effective play to get a long, drawn-out drive. In this particular series, they did. They found a big play late, and then eventually Sonoris Perry had a lot of running room for a long gain that should have been probably a touchdown, but they mark him down at the 2 on this play. He runs through a tackler, and he goes all the way into the pylon, dives for the pylon. He's a little bit short. He's marked at the 2, strangely. I don't know how he's marked at the 2. That's either a 1-yard line or a touchdown. It's anything but a 2-yard mark, but we'll take it. Hey, look, it's Louisville allowing a long kick return again. I'm going to let you watch this and see if you can figure out why the Cardinals are allowing long kick returns. It's kind of a thorn in my side at this point, but I figure we bring it up. Here, Lorenzo Malden loses contain and kind of gets beat on his assignment, allows a big edge on the zone replay. Malden gets taken away by the right tackle here, and Gerard Hallman is hung out to dry trying to cover two guys. Usually, if you're trying to cover two guys, you can't cover one, and the Cards give up a first down. I'm really curious as to what Jalen Whitlow sees on this play because that's one that you give to your running back. You have nowhere to go. Marcus Smith and Brandon Dunn escort you to the ground. That's a great play from those guys. This is a really good sequence of downs for the Cards. Here you see Marcus Smith get a great quarterback hit on Max Smith. And the next play, you actually see Preston Brown come up and set the edge on an option play. That's a great play from Preston. And then you actually see Charles Gaines's first career interception, a guy I think a lot of in his ability. A second time today we've seen him in great position in front of a receiver in the end zone. This time he hauls it in. I don't understand how it's marked at the 2 because it's either a 1 yard line or a touchback, but they mark it at the 2. Still great ball skills and great position, and I really like this hole that Nacho Garcia and Gerald Christian actually make out of the end zone here for a nice gain to kind of give the Cards some room. Damian Copeland almost has a long touchdown play here. He gets loose behind the zone, and he gets a shoestring tackle. I thought he was going to keep his feet for a second, but he stumbles and falls, and a long touchdown pass is saved for the Wildcats, and I really thought that Damian Copeland was going to keep his legs under him there. But these are the type of plays that Louisville wasn't getting in the first half, but they started getting in the second. Another one here is Gerald Christian over the middle. That was a play that would have probably sailed high. And then eventually the Cards would go to the well for the Devontae Parker jump ball on third down, but they would have to settle for a field goal. Here we see the Cards give up a long run to JoJo Kemp, and one of the reasons why this play happens is because Brandon Dunn misses a tackle right at the point of the attack, and there's simply nobody behind him. We can take a slower look at this, and you can kind of see Brandon Dunn miss. Marcus Smith gets blocked on a double team, so it's up to Brandon Dunn, and James Burgess kind of gets blocked too, and then it's up to Calvin Pryor. Calvin Pryor does not make the tackle. JoJo Kemp gets a stiff arm out on him, and then it's just nothing but green open spaces until the secondary and the other players can catch up with JoJo Kemp. The Cards are lucky that Kentucky did not score on this play, but this is a play that I think that they're going to take a long look at the film room. Jalen Whitlow does a good job here of finding a hole and running through it, and Jermaine Reeve does not make the play where he is in position to make it. Now the Cats get good blocking up front here, but Jermaine Reeve is in position to make the play and stop him before the first down marker. He fails to do that, and Jalen Whitlow gets a big gain and is punished by Calvin Pryor. If you don't contain a running quarterback, you'll give up a big play. Here, Louisville has 3 defensive players in the backfield that are falling on each other because they think they all have a sack. Jalen Whitlow slips out of it, and there's nobody there to stop him from running 10 yards up the field. Sonoris Perry has a really nice touchdown run here, and I love the blocking on this play. I like it from everybody, honestly. I like it from Jake Smith. I like it from John Miller. I like it from Jarrett Davis. I like it from Cam Joyer and Ryan Mack. I mean, everybody here contributed on this run. The Jarrett Davis block you'll see here in a second was just classic. He just cleared out that guy in the secondary and touchdown Cards. This is Kentucky's sole touchdown drive of the day. Take a look at it. Almost ends early because James Burgess almost intercepts the first ball. Then Jalen Whitlow finds Ryan Timmons on a deep route, and then James Burgess does a great job of containing a Jalen Whitlow rush, and Kentucky actually converts 2 4th downs on this possession, which is impressive. But they were 0 for 13 on the day on third down, and that's just a stat that's really good. You'd like to get them off the field on 4th down as well, but being 0 for 13 on third down, that's a winning recipe. The Kentucky does hit a nice little screen here, and there are some nice plays that Kentucky can get here with Louisville laying back in a deep zone. They're only rushing a few guys here. And then this Jalen Whitlow quarterback scramble on 4th and 13. It's kind of a bum deal because, Durantes Mount and Keith Brown really should have done a better job of containing him there. Then the touchdown pass is a really nice little play here in the end zone, right there in the back of the end zone, number 17, Alexander. Touchdown Cats, and that'll be their only touchdown of the day. The last thing I'm really going to break down here is the blocked field goal for John Wallace. I don't understand why, some of our special teams just really aren't playing that well right now. Blocked field goals and point after attempts is a carry it over issue from last year. After that, the Cards, they won the game. They allowed a touchdown kind of in garbage time. Didn't really focus a lot on that touchdown because there was a lot of second unit players in on that drive, and they were playing prevent defense. And I don't really want to focus a lot on prevent touchdowns when the Cards are up by 3 because it didn't really affect the outcome of the game. In the end, Louisville rushed for 242 yards. They allowed 162. Teddy had a pretty average, subpar day for him. He finished 16 to 28 for 250 yards and a touchdown. The offense still garnered 492 yards. The defense gave up 376. The Cards were +2 in the turnover margin on the day, and they were 6 of 13 on third down. I really like this game. Third win in a row in the Governor's Cup. Can't wait to get this as the last game of the year next year in Papa John's Cardinal Stadium. This has been the Sheriff's review of the 2013 Governor's Cup, and I really appreciate you listening.